You want to withdraw $20,000 from your account for 15 years after you retire. You expect to retire in 25 years. Your bank account earns 10% interest. How much do you need to deposit every year until retirement? So this question has two parts to it. We have to break it up into a timeline so that you can understand the two different parts. So I'm going to draw a picture here to help you see what's going on. So think of this timeline going left to right. So this point right here at the end is now. Then we're going to save money for retirement for 25 years. Then in 25 years, we're going to retire. After we retire, we expect to need $20,000 each year for 15 years. So when we retire, we need $20,000 each year. What the question is asking us to do is figure out how much we put in from here to here each year to save for retirement. So we've got to figure out the payments for that 25 years from now until retirement. And then once we retire, we want to save a nest egg so that after we retire, we can pull out that $20,000 each year. So this is the situation we have. And so we're going to break this up into two parts. And we're going to work backwards to figure out the question. So in order to figure out how much of a nest egg we need when we retire, in order to be able to pull out that $20,000 each year, we're going to use, I'm going to use, you can use formulas if you want. I'm going to use the financial app on the calculator. For this part, for the last 15 years, big N is going to be 1 times 15 because we're doing this yearly for 15 years, which gives us a total of 15. Then we have our I percent, and the question tells us that our bank gives us 10% interest, which is absolutely amazing. You'll never ever see that in real life. Let's see. Then we have to figure out our present value. We also need to figure out our future value, our payment amount, and then our CY and our PY. Now, because we're doing this yearly, the CY and the PY on your calculator app is going to be 1. It's once a year, so that's our compounding periods. The payment is actually going to be the $20,000 because that's that regular amount that we're going to be pulling out of the bank account to live on. Because we're doing regular withdrawals of $20,000 each year, that's going to be considered our payment. So we're going to put in $20,000 for payment. Our future value, I'm going to put in a 0. I'm going to make the assumption that we're going to deplete the account. So we're going to keep pulling out $20,000 until we have no more money. The present value is what we're trying to figure out. We're trying to figure out what the nest egg needs to be so that in 15 years I can pull out that $20,000 every year. So this is what we're trying to find. So go to your calculator financial app, put in all these values, and then hit alpha solve when your cursor is blinking on your present value. When you do that, you're going to find that you're going to need a nest egg of $152,121.59. That's your nest egg. That's how much you need to have when you retire to be able to pull out that $20,000 each year. Now we're going to work backwards again to figure out how much we have to deposit each year for 25 years to save the nest egg. So let's write all of our variables down again. Now, for this first part of the timeline that we're working on now, it also says during that time frame, you're depositing yearly amounts. So that means my PY and my CY are both going to be 1 again. My future value is what I want to have saved up for the nest egg. So my future value, I'm going to put in 152, 121.59. The present value I'm going to put down as 0 because in the problem it doesn't tell us that we have any money already in that account. I'm just assuming that we're starting at 0 in the account and we're just going to be making payments every year. The interest rate for the account is 10%. And then our N is going to be 1 times 25 because we're doing this 1 time a year for 25 years, which gives us our big N as 25. What we're trying to find out is what is that payment we need to add in every year to save up that amount. So now we're going to be solving for this part of the timeline, which will be our final answer, is what is that payment that we need to start putting in right now every year for 25 years. Okay, so on your calculator financial app, you're going to put in big N is 25, I is 10, PV is 0, future value is your nest egg, and then make sure you put in your PY and your CY as 1. Now, when you solve for the payment, you should get that payment is $1,546.78. So this is what you need to put in the account every year for 25 years to save a nest egg of $152,121.59 so that when you retire, you can pull out that $20,000 every year.